It comes a week after historic talks with Donald Trump in Singapore, and as the US and South Korea confirmed that military exercises planned for August won't be going ahead. Let's go now to Beijing and speak to our correspondent Katrina Yu. Katrina, it seems that Kim Jong-Un is now more comfortable travelling abroad. Tell us more about this visit.
That's right. So it wasn't fated as an official state visit, but it certainly had all the trappings of one. Him and his wife were welcomed by President Xi Jinping at Beijing's Great Hall of People. There was a military welcome as well as a banquet and a bit of a celebration with some local Chinese children there. Now, experts had expected some meeting to occur between Kim and President Xi following the Singapore summit with President Trump last week, but we didn't really expect it to be this soon, and we didn't expect a third visit by Kim Jong-un to China in less than a 2-month period. Now, they're likely, as you mentioned, to be talking about what exactly went down in Singapore last week, especially the end of the war games and how that might look going forward. Also, we're expecting them to sort of really enhance that relationship. And what we saw was President Xi actually congratulating Kim Jong-un on what he saw as a positive outcome of the summit, and really congratulating him as a leader in terms of really making that meeting happen. And what we're also seeing, I think, is President Xi really trying to normalize relationships with North Korea and really trying to transition Kim Jong-un's image from the leader of a rogue nation into a statesman, as we have seen him act these past few months.
Katrina, Beijing has made it clear it wants to keep doing business with Pyongyang.
That's right. So as you mentioned earlier, this was the third trip to China, and it wasn't a secret this time. China is really saying, look, our relationship with North Korea is a normal one. We're continuing to support North Korea and strengthen our relationship with them. So following the summit last week, President Xi Jinping and Beijing actually said, look, North Korea is behaving, it is following its promise to go forward with denuclearization. Why don't we consider, as an international community, easing these UN sanctions? As Beijing sees it, the only way for North Korea to feel comfortable enough to really lay down its weapons is for it to develop economically. And Beijing sees it as its role as its most important ally to help Pyongyang develop economically. Also, it's quite an interesting time because this week, President Trump has threatened today an additional $200 billion worth of tariffs against China. So I think by this meeting, China is also trying to send a signal worldwide saying, look, we're a powerful and influential country, not only in our region, but indeed internationally as well. So that's the message that China is trying to send, and saying that these things going forward in terms of the Korean Peninsula, we're definitely going to have our say, and we're going to continue to whisper in the ear of Kim Jong-un.
Thank you, Katrina. Katrina Yu in Beijing for us.